Yo everyone, welcome to Amps, Pedals and Pickups. My name's Nathan, and today we're going to be checking out the bass guitar inside of IK Multimedia ToneX. Now I just recently picked up this bass. It's a Fender P-Bass Precision Bass 2009, made in Japan. Great instrument. You can see here he's had it relicked, but it's actually really soft to play. Feels really good. Some good strings on there, just set up in standard tuning for now. And I was thinking about my different bass options, what I can run it through, and ToneX seems to be popping off at the moment, so I thought, haven't actually tried running any bass through ToneX, haven't tried any VST basses through ToneX, so pretty good experiment to run this through ToneX and see what sort of tones we can get out of it. Alright, before we get going, I've just disengaged ToneX, and I want to see what the DI level of the instrument going into my DAW looks like, because I want to make sure that my gain staging is correct. So I'm just going to look at the level of the instrument, and if that looks good, then we'll move on to the next step. I would definitely encourage you guys to do the same thing as well. So I'm just going to hit record for a second, play something. So just visually looking at that, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's in a good spot. If it was really small, I would up the gain on the interface. If it was peaking, I'd obviously knock it down, but I think that's sitting in a pretty good spot at the moment. So all I've done so far in ToneX is I've gone into ToneNet, wait for it to load. I'm going to filter the instrument here by bass, and just have a browse around. I had a look at a couple already, I've downloaded some, but let's have a look at it together. So this first one here is based on the Ampeg SVT 2 Pro. Now I've got to admit, my tone hunting or my tone quest for bass tones is very basic. I just want that basic classic bass sound, kind of why I got a P bass. I just want, the basics, the punk tone, the rock tone, the metal tone. I just want that sort of thing to fit in and mix well. So I'm not really like super advanced as far as bass tones go, so I might not comment on the bass tones so much, so what I think about it, but I think you guys can listen to it. Maybe you can let me know what you think about these tones. I've definitely found some already that I think sound amazing, and I'll flick through them, but I'm also going off the user generated or the user feedback over here, so I can see there's 30 downloads, 8 thumbs up, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to go off the ones that other people have said good. That's going to be like my filtration system for the moment. Okay, here we go. Old school acoustic 360. I don't even know what an acoustic bass amp is. Let's check it out. Also might be sacrilege using a pick here. Let's check this one out. This is a 750X bass amp. I've never heard of this. I gotta say the visuals really help out here in ToneX. I like the visuals. Now this is something else I noticed with ToneX with the gain staging. Like our input gain is pretty good here, but this one definitely dropped off. So I would crank out the volume or the output trim there. Very usable, all very usable. Nothing quite unique just yet. I need to get something with a bit more distortion or saturation. Okay, what's this? Darkglass. Okay, you would imagine this would be pretty distorted. So I'm going to save this one for later. I think it can work really well in a mix. Look, I've actually thumbs up this one. This is a Hiwatt. Yeah, this one's good. This one's got some, sometimes just getting through the tones, like getting that feedback of playing with it, it just feels really good. This one's great. I've definitely downloaded it. Been playing with this one all afternoon. Never used a Hiwatt with this combination of bass and amp, but this is a really good capture. a minute since I played bass, so give me some slack here. Okay, we've got some big boys here. Let's check it out. It's the orange. Let's go the clean. We'll go the clean first. The orange, what is it? The Thunderverb. I don't know the names because they're bass amps, so it's not my go-to. So there's a clean Thunderverb. Alright, I just started to play a riff then and realized this whole time I've been in drop D, so I've just changed it back to standard tuning. I was like, what's going on? Why does that sound so weird? Back to standard tuning. Let's check out the Thunderverb in clean. Pretty good. I'm going to say that one. I see why a lot of people like it. Let's check out the drive counterpart. I'm no bass aficionado, but to my ears that's sounding like a very good bass driven tone. I'm going to save that one. Great stuff. I'm also partial to the orange stuff, like you've seen with the amp in my channel already. Definitely love the orange stuff, so that's a pretty good sound to me. I was going to leave the video there, but I thought I use bass VST a lot, and I know a lot of you use bass VST. Now I've just pulled up a little lick here, just done a little bit of MIDI. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like compared to mine. It's quite different. It's a lot brighter. Let's just have a listen to it. Let's have a listen to the real bass. A lot more full-bodied, a lot more low end going on. I'll just A-B them quickly. I mean, they are different. I could EQ them to be a lot closer to each other, but I think this is just realistically how I would use things. I would just use the default VST out of PunkBass. It's very, very good. I would also just use the DI as it is. All right, so I've just put up ToneX on top of PunkBass. Going here to my tone models. I'm going to go into the filter section. It's actually really cool because we can just filter by tone net that we've downloaded and bass. So we'll apply those. And there's just a short list. These are the ones that I've just downloaded. So I'm going to make sure, yep, we're listening to PunkBass here. I really liked that, where is it? The Hiwatt. Let's have a listen to this. Still, you know, without testing anything else, that actually sounds really, really good on its own. All right, so I've got them lined up. Let's have a listen to them. So this is the real bass first, and then we'll flick over to PunkBass. If you weren't too sure there, the first one was the real bass, the second one was PunkBass. You know, to my ears, it just sounds like the real bass is a lot more raw. It's going to need a little bit more taming in the mix and everything, and PunkBass sounds a little bit more mix ready. Both totally usable. A little bit of pushing and pulling for both of them. They sound great. Let's check out another one. We'll just go for that, the orange amp, the one that had distortion. Which one was that? It was Thunderverb Drive. I'll select the Thunderverb Drive on this one, and let's do another comparison. Real bass first, VST bass second. Let's be absolute savages and play them both on top of each other. So this is both at once. To be honest, that's actually a very good result. You get the humanness of the human playing with the like really punched in on time of the VST bass. I actually think that's going to be my default combo, running them both in parallel. All right, so yeah, look, all in all, pretty happy with ToneX as far as bass goes. Once again, I'm very just meat and potato sort of bass needs at the moment. I just want to lay down a nice bass riff for the song, have it sit nicely in a mix, and so far, I've only been playing with it for a couple days now, but so far, everything's been really good. You know, some plugins or some modelers, you have to like do all this post EQ things or slap like 2 or 3 compressors down there to make things sound natural, but really just this bass going into the interface into ToneX is a really killer combo. I will be doing some compression after and those sort of mixing tricks to get things to sit well, but in terms of just producing a nice amped tone, I think ToneX is doing a very good job. So having a nice bass tone come out of something like ToneX, an app that I'm already using, is super helpful. So I'm really happy that we're getting good results here. I didn't have to go out and like buy a different VST and then play around with that and figure out how the gain staging on that works, you know, and how does that sit with this thing. It just gets a bit much, a bit of fiddling, but very happy with how it's coming out. I'm going to be using ToneX, I think, for a lot of my bass needs. I don't have any hardware on me to do some ToneX capturing. I don't have any bass pedals yet. I might be borrowing some off some friends or do some captures, that kind of thing. But if you have any tones you want me to check out, definitely leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions about running a bass inside of ToneX, any feedback on any of the tones you heard, definitely let me know. Super interested, just sort of getting started, moving away a little bit from VST basses onto the real thing. I'm still really using both, and you know, if I'm realistic, I'm going to be using VST bass 80-90% of the time. But when I can actually pick up the bass, get it in my hands, pull a fat tone, it just makes that mix all the sweeter. As always, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.